Hi, dear valued customer. This is Jeff from Borche. Here I'm going to demonstrate you how the KEBA control is set up and operate. So here this page we're looking at is called the overview page. So here on the top you can see the transducer positions for the ejector, for the mode open and close, for the screw, and you can also see the screw RPM. And here displays you the system pressure and the system velocity. And here display you the screw back pressure. And this red zone is displaying you the ongoing alarm, because now we are running in a simulation machine, so we got a lot of alarm. That's quite normal. Okay, and here on the left is also displaying you the system pressure and speed. This one on the left, this two is for the pump 1, and this two is for the pump 2, pressure and velocity. And here on the top, it's displaying you the barrel temperature. On the right, this one is screw RPM, this one is back pressure. And here, displaying you the position for the ejector, for the mold, for the screw, and for the carriage, just like what you can see on the top. The only difference is those on the top, they're constantly there, even if you change the pages. And here, this one showing you the clamping pressure. And those things, they're displaying you the status for the split nonce. The first row are for the open. So nonce 1, 2, 3, 4 open. And this 4 is for the nonce 1, 2, 3, 4 close. And here on the bottom, on the left, it's displaying you the product counter and the cycle time. On the right, it's showing you the running mode data. And these are the status of the cores. And here on the right side, you can have an idea what's the machine status. For example, now we can see the green hand light up in green. That means now the machine is in manual. If this icon light up, it means the screw barrel heating is turned up. And this one means if it lights on, it means the motor is turned up. And this one means lubrication. And here on this area, we have a user, which you can select your language and log in with different access level. And this one, the quick setting, it gives you overall view to have access to all process settings. Let's get back. Okay, and now we're going to the mode open and close page. The mode open and close setting is quite straightforward. So you can see on my left, it's a mode close, and on my right, it's a mode open. The mode open and close, they are up to 5 and down to 3 stages. Up to you. For mode open, yeah, it's down to 1. So it's quite straightforward. For example, let's say now the mode close setting. So we have a stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the stage 1 will be closing with a 70 bar and a 60% velocity from where you are to 1490 millimeter. And the stage 2 will be closing in 80 bar and 60% from 1490 to 180. And stage 3 and then stage 4. And then the split nonce close with 45 bar and 15% speed, and then the machine makes the high pressure clamping with 200 bar and 50% speed. The mode open similar. So firstly, it have the mode pressure release with 50 bar and 35% speed, and then the split nonce open with 45 bar and 30% speed, and then the mode open stage number 1 will be opening with 60 bar and 50% from 0 to 10 millimeter. And then stage number 2 will be opening with 70 bar and 6% from 10 millimeter to 1400 millimeter. And then stage 4, 3, 4 till the end. And here on the bottom left, you can set up the clamping force and the high pressure tolerance and the high pressure holding time and the mode protection time. And on the right, it's a setting for the mode release pressure and release mode by time or position. And here on the right side of this page, we can access to the advanced setting by here. The mode with the range, the settings, okay, and here the option functions. For example, you can have the mode option protection and mode protection retry count, and close tolerance, end tolerance, close pump delay off time, and trial running, dry cycle, no need high pressure clamping. And there's some ramp settings here. And there, the movement settings, you can set the delay times for the close or the open, and the timeout alarm limit for the close for the open. And here is for the setup mode, control, speed, and pressure. So now the machine, let's say it's in manual. So when the machine is in manual, the pressure, speed, and the position control is by this setting. And when you switch the machine to the setup, the pressure and speed control will be according to this pressure and this speed. And here you can set up the ramps. This page, you can set up the split nonce setting, and here is the high pressure cylinder settings. And here this page is for lubrication control. So you can set up how many cycle per lubrication. You can set up the how many cycle and then how many times lubrication will work. And you can also have a feedback display for the lubrication pressure and lubrication oil level. So the ejector is pretty much the same compared to the mode open and close. We got forward on the up and backward on the down. So basically it will move from 0 with 100 bar and 80% speed from 0 to 330 in the first stage, and then the second stage it moves with 100 bar and 50% from 330 to 380. You can set up to 3 stages for the forward and down to 1 stages. Ejector backward, similar. Up to 3, down to 1. And we've got a different mode you can choose from. You can don't use the ejector or use a hold mode or continuous or the shake. If you're using the shake and for example the shake counter 2, and then the ejector will work like this. It will eject from 0 to 330 and then from 330 to 380. Okay, and then when it comes back from 380 to 50. And then it will continue to eject forward, not going all the way back. So from 50 to 320 and then 380. And after it fully ejector back, and then it will fully ejector go back to 50 and then to 5. So at the first stroke, it won't fully go back. It will go only to 50. At the second stroke, it will go all the way back to 5. And here you can have the ejector advanced setting. Here, ejector with a wrench. So basically, more or less the same. You can have the delay time settings here, and the timeout setting here, and you can set up the stroke, the offset. You can optimize the ejector. Also, you can set up the ramps here. Also, the pressure and speed setting for the setup mode. More or less the same. And here is air valve control. So we got after charging, after mode open, after ejector, during mode open, before charging. Let's say I'm using during mode open. So if you set during mode open, and this is the position setting, for example 100. So when the mode opens to 100, the air valve 1 will start work for 2 seconds. If I set delay time here, 0.2 seconds, and then when the mode opens to 100, and then after 0.2 seconds, the air valve will start work for 2 seconds. This is for the air valve. For the core, so for example, now I select on core 1, and the in mode and out mode will be core in before mode close and core out after mode open. So it's like this. And the core 1 control will by limit switch like this, or you can choose by time. Depends on the mode. And also here's the pressure and speed setting for the core in and for the core out. And here displaying you the status of the cores. For example, now the core 1 is not in or out. The core 2 is out, core 3 is out, core 4 is out, and core 5 is out. And here you can change the core in and out priority. For example, now we are running core 1 in, 2 in, 3 in, 4 in, 5 in first, and then core 5 out, then 4 out, 3 out, 7 out, 8 out. If you change like this. Now, so when the core move out, the core 4 will be the first to move out, and then core 5, and then 3, 2, 1. So this is priority setting. And the advanced core setting here, similar to the other, like the ejector and the mode open and close. You can have some selections, override core safety. For example, at the beginning when you set up a mode, the ejector and the core, they have, they are interlocked. You have to override the safety before you can actually move anything. Okay, here's core, and here we go to the injection. The injection, you can go down to 1 and up to 10. And here is the cutoff. The cutoff is the transfer position between the injection and the holding. So let's say now setting the screw position, we cut off at 20 millimeter. Okay, so the injection first stage would be using 140 bar and 80% from where you are to 50. And then the second stage will be 140 bar, 80% from 50 to 30. And then stage 3 will be using 120 bar and 70% speed, going from 30 not to 10, but to 20. Once the screw goes to 20, it will transfer directly go to the holding here. So holding by this pressure this time, this pressure, speed this time, this pressure, this speed, and this time. Okay, let's go back to the injection. Have a check again. So here is your transfer position. No matter what your injection end position is, the screw will go to the time holding control after this screw position. Please remember that. Also, you can have multiple conditions to transfer. Now we're using both by the screw position and injection time. So it's either or. Which one comes first doesn't matter. And then the control go to the holding. Okay, and here is the advanced setting for the injection. Similar. You can have the delay time setting and the timeout setting, the setup, pressure and speed, and the ramps. And this one is cold drop. So basically you can inject a little bit before the nozzle move forward to drop the cold material out. And here you can also have the graphic, injection graphic setting to display you the position of the the screw position and the pressure when the injection is working. So you can have a display where should I make the cutoff, where to optimize the settings so you get a perfect part. And here is the screw recovery setting. So it's similar to all the others movements. You can down to 1 up to 5 stages, and here is the back pressure setting, the screw recovery back pressure, and here is the speed. Now we are running in the percentage, but we can also display in the RPM. I can show you later. Okay, and here you can it's for set up the pressure and delay time. And we got 2 decompression. Decompression before plastic sizing and decompression after plastic sizing, pressure and speed. Okay, and the nozzle setting, more or less the same like the others. 1 to 3 stages, backward 1 to 3 stages. So here's a little bit difference. So after the nozzle moved to your set position, let's say when the nozzle touches the mold, is 2 inches. Okay, so the end position you set 2 inches, and then you can transfer to the time control. Let's say I want 40 bar and 10% contact force control to make sure the nozzle have a solid contact with the mold, and the time control would be 0.3 seconds. So it guarantees you a solid control, a solid touch between the nozzle and the mold. And for the control mode, you can use either not the nozzle don't backward, or it's backward after the screw recover, or back up after the mold open, or after inject. And here's the advanced setting for the nozzle movement: delay time, timeout setting, and the setup, pressure and speed, the ramps, just like all the others movements. Also, you can set the auto purge. So once you set it auto purge, how many seconds for the injection, pressure and speed, how many, what's the position you want decompressions, pressure and speed, and how many times for the screw recover, and how many times to purge. And then you just click on the auto purge button on the keyboard panel, and then you will be able to make the automatic purge. And the heatings, so basically straightforward. Here you set the screw and barrel temperature and the high tolerance, low tolerance, and here you can set up the auto heating. You remain the machine powered on, and the machine will turn on the heating automatically on off at your setting time. And here's the production page. Use or not use the production counter, reset production counter, the cavity of the mold, so to multiply how many cavities when it comes. And also the maximum cycle time, so you set the alarm timeout. And here is the alarm page. You can see the ongoing alarm. Also, you can have access to the alarm history when you click this button. And here is the robot interface. If you need a robot to be operating with the machine, you click on the use robot, and you can have a signal monitor in this page. Also, here is for the auto door, automatic operator door setting. And here for the switch off. When the machine runs 24/7, and at night there's nobody guarding the machine. So when the alarm interrupted the cycle, the machine will not remain the mold closed when the alarm interrupted. It will open the mold first and then stop the motor or the heating, depends on what you select. So you don't have the power and motor turned on for overnight. So basically, this is how the KEBA, the control, is set up and operate. Quite straightforward. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you very much.